has been the hardest episode
That
yet.
was difficult. Usually we just roll into it right away, and today we had some
issues.
not technical difficulties, personal issues.
Mental difficulties.
Mental difficulties.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
Another episode of If You're Bored Here, it's your fault.
It's your fault.
And
it's your fault.
what day is it today? Tuesday.
I don't remember. Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
And
I've been here for 2 weeks.
Welcome. Oh yeah, today is week 2.
2 weeks and a day.
14 days.
Yeah,
exactly.
My
Nice.
isolation period's up.
We don't have to isolate anymore. We just start making out and
really
cuddling
work.
on the couch.
Yeah, we didn't really follow the rules of isolation,
No, we
honestly.
didn't.
But that's okay because no one else is here. It's just us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
we're not infecting
We
people.
took that chance on our own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it did work out actually, which is good. I'm happy to know that officially after like 3 official weeks of being under quarantine, I do not think I have coronavirus.
But we've gone shopping.
We've got shopping, yeah.
See, that's the thing about it. I was talking about that with Jackie. Is like, yeah, you gotta do the quarantine stuff, but like, and the isolation for 14 days, blah blah blah. But does that mean every single time you need food, you have to restart isolation? Because like,
I don't think it's like that super strict thing. I think it's mostly people who have traveled.
Yeah.
And then the rest is just stay home as much as possible. It's not so much like isolate yourself for a week.
Yeah, because
it's just like stay home as much as possible.
Yeah, because when I like legitimately quarantined and isolated, I was sick. I isolated.
We thought you had coronavirus.
I honestly may have. I'm not ruling it out.
Yeah.
I had these symptoms that would be the symptoms that they were saying at the beginning of like if you're young and healthy and have a good immune system, which I am.
Yeah.
You don't really feel it. You just get kind of sick.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I had. I had all the symptoms. They were just very, very, what's the word? They weren't intense. Like I didn't have severe symptoms. They were very, very
severe.
They were very not severe.
Yeah.
Mild. That's what I was trying to think of. They're very mild.
Word.
So I may have had it. I don't know. And then my sister got sick right after me though.
Yeah.
And then she got tested
and
she came in negative.
Oh, that's good.
So I was kind of like, okay, well, if she got sick after I was sick,
Yeah.
it probably would have been what I had.
Yeah.
Because we were together.
Definitely.
So yeah.
I think there's a very high chance that you didn't have it.
There's a way higher chance that I didn't, because that was when it was like that was the beginning of March. So that was when stuff was just starting to get a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't until after that you were sick that we're like, oh, I wonder if you got the coronavirus.
Yeah. But who knows?
I hate being sick, man.
So do I. You know when you get sick and you forget what it's like to not be sick?
Yeah.
Do you ever get that?
I think so.
If you get like really stuffed up and you forget what it's like to breathe normally?
Oh, but then when you do breathe normally,
You're like...
I hate that when you're like trying to sleep at night.
That one day you wake up and you can breathe normally.
When you're trying to sleep at night and like you're on your one side, but then like
the side of your
nozzle,
face that's down fills up.
Nostril
and
nozzle.
It feels
this nostril
this
just like
nozzle.
clogs. But
It's
then
kind
when
of
you
a
like
nozzle.
lay on the other side, like with your face on the other side, you like turn over or something. And then like it
moves.
shifts.
That's
and then
your
the other
sinuses.
one, the other one plugs up. But that like you get that like 5 seconds where you can breathe out of both as it's like switching over. It's like.
You're like, wow. Have you ever
That's the best.
Have you done the nose squirt thing?
No, no, I haven't.
It's
Callie does it all the time.
The
but
weirdest feeling thing.
I don't want to do it.
I did it.
Does it help with the sinuses?
Oh, dude, it's so good.
Really?
It just like, it goes through your, like the water.
Yeah.
Or
It's
you
like
put
salt
in water and salt. I think you
warm
put
it up
something
a
else
bit.
in too. Yeah, but you basically put it, you can either do it with like a regular syringe, or you can actually get like little tips that like fit your nostril, so there's no like air, so you can like pump it, and it's the weirdest feeling because you can like feel it like circulating
in your brain and shit.
Well, I mean, not in your brain, but dude,
it goes in your brain.
Dude, your sinuses go. No, but you can feel it like going through your face, and then it comes out your other side.
Yeah.
And like all the nasty shit.
That's like when we
out.
were surfing in Bali. I remember at the end of every day, like after spending like 2 hours out in the ocean, you like come back at the end of the day. And I remember at night, I would always like tip my head upside down, and then as soon as I brought it back up, water would like come pouring out of my, and it could be like 2 hours later.
Dude,
all this water would pour out.
Have you ever had it in your ear?
Oh,
and then
the best when
it comes out like a day later. You're like, oh yeah, I went swimming.
Yeah, or you're like laying in bed or something, and then you just feel like the warmth at night like drain onto your pillow.
Last time I went cliff jumping,
that's the best.
At the river, I got a really bad. It wasn't like an ear infection; it was like an ear ache.
Yeah, but I've gotten those from cliff jumping.
Hurt. Like it was like it was one of the only things I've ever had that wasn't a serious injury that I had to stop everything. Like I just had to sit down and be in pain. Like it was brutal. Yeah. And Jackie was trying to help me do all these things. Like she had we were like hair drying, like a hair dryer.
Oh, really?
Like into my ear to try like, I don't know what she said. It works. Apparently it like heats up if you have like earwax. It like heats up your earwax and then it like comes out.
Alcohol works really well too.
And then you do this thing where you make a cup and you put it over your ear and you literally just go like this. Oh. And it like suctions. Oh, it like you have to like really push on your face.
Have you seen the where you take like a candle, and like a piece of paper or something, and like you burn it and at the end? It pulls out the wax. Yeah, that's so nasty. But man, I bet you that feels so good.
I wonder if you even feel it. I wonder because it'd probably be so slow.
Maybe. Yeah,
you should try it.
Yeah, I hate that though. Yeah, when you go cliff jumping and you like land funny.
I've never had it before.
When I first started cliff jumping, I went to the river with these 3 girls. That I knew, and I was like trying to show off a little bit, so I was like jumping off some like bigger cliffs that I wasn't quite comfortable, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I remember we were leaving. It was at the one spot that we usually go to with like the big cliffs on the river, and I remember we were leaving and we were climbing like back up the embankment to like get out, and we were like on our way back to the car, and my one friend, she like noticed like I was bleeding from my ear. Like my left ear just had blood coming out of it. She was like, you're bleeding from your ear. And I was like, what? Scary. And then I like touched it and I had like blood on my hands and I was like, oh, and she was like, are you okay?
That's like one
and I was like, I feel totally fine.
That's like one of the places you don't want to bleed from. Like if you bleed from your nose,
man, it was scary.
If you bleed from your nose, if you bleed from your mouth, you're like, whatever. It's not a big deal. But if you bleed from your ears, if you bleed from your eyes, something's wrong.
Yeah. I woke up from a nosebleed the other night.
Dude, I used to get that terribly when I was a kid.
What is that?
When I was a kid, I would wake up with like gushing nosebleeds.
Really?
Just randomly.
So weird.
It's a lot of times it's because like if the air is really dry. Yeah. Because like I grew up in Alberta, so like the air was super dry. Yeah. And it's just like you get really dry and then like it cracks and you just start bleeding and it's super normal. Here, I don't know. Maybe you're possessed.
Yeah. It was just one time. Just like a few nights ago, I just woke up.
Just one demon.
And I went to the bathroom and because I really had to like throw up. And so I went to the bathroom and I was like close to throwing up.
Like now?
It was probably about a week ago.
Why'd you have to throw up?
I don't know. I just woke up in the middle of the night. I felt super sick and I was like laying in bed a little bit and then I was super nauseous and made my way to the bathroom because I thought I was going to chundy.
That's weird.
And I just like sat on the floor next to the toilet for like 5 minutes, but then I noticed that my nose was bleeding. It was weird.
That is really weird.
Yeah. I didn't puke though. And then I went to bed and woke up, felt totally fine. Yeah.
Something's up. Something was up.
Something was up, yeah.
Something was up. Something in your body was I don't like this.
Yeah, something was like, get it out of me. Get this poison out of me.
Get
food poisoning or something. Well, should we hop into this and select a topic to...
Do you want me to do it? Do you want to do it?
I'll do it today, sure.
I do it every single day.
Yeah.
I get too excited.
You just jump right into it.
It's legitimately because I can't sit still. Like, I want to go through the last couple of videos and I'm going to count the amount of seconds that I sit still, and I bet it's under 2 minutes. I can't, I always move.
You should get a fidget spinner.
No, I don't want to jump on that train.
But that would be something. Think fidgety. Of how perfect that would be.
But I would need. It would be perfect actually. But I maybe I should.
Maybe you should.
I'd just be sitting here. That'd be annoying though if I was just sitting here like spinning.
Yeah, it'd be pretty annoying. All right, so today's topics are road trips. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
Howdy ho! On a road trip. I love road trips.
I love me a good road trip.
Who doesn't love a road trip?
I love driving.
Yeah.
Like, I legitimately like driving long distances.
I like going for drives.
Even if it's not through a super pretty place. Like, just driving.
Yeah.
Just like...
It's peaceful. It's relaxing.
Peaceful. You're just chilling. You can listen to music, listen to podcasts.
My commute to work in Victoria is about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer.
You go far.
Yeah, and that's my favorite part of the day.
Yeah.
because I just chill. I'll have a coffee on my way down, maybe get a muffin or something. Just enjoy a little snack and listen to a good podcast for a full hour and a half. It's all highway driving. Dude. There's not a lot of stop and go, stressful traffic.
The amount of podcasts I listen to. Not anymore. I don't know why. I kind of got out of that.
It's probably good.
Out of the podcast stream, but for a while there.
Yeah.
Definitely when I was driving around a lot.
Yeah.
I would literally listen to like legitimately 3 to 5 hours of podcasts.
Did you find that ever affected your like creativity by like consuming a lot?
I just was like in a phase, I don't know why, but I wasn't really into listening to music, and I don't like silence. I always like some sort of noise.
What about when you run too?
I like doing both. Like usually like halfway through, I always start with a podcast.
Yeah. And
then like halfway through and near the end, I'll turn to music. Right. I also really like running without music.
Yeah. I actually, without anything.
Yeah. Like I used to be like kind of scared of it. I'm like, oh, it's like it's such like a pump up. It's so good to run with it.
Yeah.
But then when I started running without it, I actually really liked running without music.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know why. It's like peaceful.
I feel like you get more in tune with yourself, with your body, and like, because like for me, like listening to my breathing and focusing on my breathing when I run is really important. And so like I used to love running with music in, because like you said, it's like a pump up and you can go so fast. And like you just, I don't know, there's something to having music. But then when you have no music and you're used to music, it's not as fun.
It's almost like a cue.
Yeah.
It's like when you listen, definitely with working out, it's like when you listen to like pumped up music, you feel like you're in your workout mode, but it's silent. You're like, it's hard to like get yourself going.
Yeah.
I also don't like listening to music when I run on roads, because cars
dangerous.
Go by it real quick.
Yeah.
99% of people move over. That 1% of people don't, and sometimes it's been like close calls.
I had a guy in a huge semi truck. I was running down like Haslam Road, whatever, like one of the back roads. Like it wasn't a main road. It was a back road, and this guy in this huge like semi truck with like a big trailer on it was like passing, and there's like no shoulder to run on. Like I'm basically 1 foot on the pavement, 1 foot in the grass. Yeah. And this guy comes up, and it's a huge back road. Like you can see super far. Like he doesn't have to worry about moving over a little bit. Yeah. But as he's driving, he stays like right in the lane. He gets like so close, and like I'm looking at him the whole time. Like, are you gonna fucking run me over? And he just like, as he's like passing me, he like looks, and he's just like gives me this look where he's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, you're in the big fucking truck, just move over. I've got no shoulder here, asshole. Dude. Like he got mad at me because I was on the fucking road.
Okay, this is kind of unrelated, but just kind of funny. I was going through old footage of us this is when we were in Thailand, when we were on Koh Tao.
Oh man.
And there's footage of me
I want to see
on the back of the bike. Because this is when we went to that hammock lookout spot.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the back of the bike, and I was like holding my camera up while you drove to get a shot. And then
that's right.
At the very beginning, I've never noticed it until I was looking at it. At the very beginning of the shot, like the first frame when it hasn't even started playing yet, is a guy. I filmed a bike beside us as it went by really fast, and he's giving us the finger.
Oh,
it's so funny. I've never noticed it. It's just like this really quick shot of this guy giving the finger and then going away. It was
we probably looked like assholes, because I'll admit, like you were on the back, like with your camera on the back of the scooter, and then I was driving one-handed with my GoPro in my other hand for some parts where I would like film. So we're both on the scooter driving with our cameras. So stupid. I would have gave us the finger.
Being vloggers.
Oh man, that was so stupid. But that was so much fun that day.
That was great.
That was a big adventure.
Yeah, that was definitely on the
That was a road trip.
I was gonna say, we gotta get back on the road trip topic.
Yeah.
That was kind of a road trip.
That was definitely a road trip.
Like even road trip on a moped was great.
Yeah.
Driving from
Chiang Mai to Pai.
Did you hear Chiang Mai's on fire?
Really?
There's huge forest fires going on in Thailand right now.
I thought they like burn everything anyways.
No, I mean they do sometimes, but this is like an out of control.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I saw some photos of it. Like, you know the photos of Australia that were all fucked up? It looks like that.
Oh yeah.
It's like the whole sky is
like
red.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely because it's so lush there.
Yeah.
There's so much forest.
Where there's no development. But
yeah. I mean, Chiang Mai's pretty developed.
Yeah.
Chiang Mai's a city.
Yeah.
It's just a Thai city.
Once you get out of the city, yeah, for sure. It gets really, really lush. I wish we went to Mae Hong Song.
Mae Hong Song? I went to Mae Hong Song.
Yeah. Seems really nice out there.
That's where I got this bad boy.
Oh, that's where I got
That's where I had my first
battle scar.
That's where I got my first Thai tattoo.
That's
which
funny.
in translation to English means you just fell off your moped.
Yeah.
But every white tourist gets a Thai tattoo.
Yeah. I didn't get one. I never had any big falls. Job. I feel kind of like a failure because I didn't crash my... Like, I had close calls.
No, that's success, man. This was the first time I ever drove a bike, and I was hanging out with this guy I just met. He was from the Netherlands, I think. And we went to Mae Hong Son.
Yeah.
And that drive is crazy, by the way. Like, and the ironic part is the only stretch of straight is where I fell. The only stretch of straight is where I fell. And it's because this was like, I was within the first week of driving a motorized two-wheeled vehicle.
Yeah.
Not just like a bike, but like no experience. And it was like, my first experience was driving it to Pai, which is an insane drive. There's like literally hundreds, if not thousands of weaves up mountains and shit.
Right.
So the guy I was with when we were going to Mae Hong Son, he was like, he drove a sport bike back home.
Yeah.
So he like knew what he was doing. Even though it was a moped, it's like the same, like, you know how to drive it.
You kind of feel it a bit.
And I was like trying to keep up to this guy, and he's just ripping. He's going so fast. And I kept up with him like 75% of the way because we were on the way back.
Yeah.
And on that straight road, we were going fast. This is like when I look back at this is one of my 9 lives that I'm like, I should have been worse off than I was, because we were going like 80 on a moped. I was in like a tank. I was in a tank top. I was in like volleyball shorts, flip-flops, no helmet, and I had a backpack on with my camera gear in the backpack, but it wasn't a real camera backpack, so there was no padding. And a dog jumped out in front of me. And I didn't know that you can't slam on your brakes on a bike.
Right.
I had no idea. I was just like, why would I know? It's just instinct. So I slam on my brakes, and if you don't know, when you slam on your brakes on a bike, the bike just flips. So I just instantly flipped, and I blacked out. And then I just like, I kind of like came back in.
Yeah.
And I was like tumbling.
Shit.
And then I just like sat up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
holy.
I like didn't really know what happened. I was like, what just happened? And I saw the bike, and it was like some Thai dude just like picked up the bike. I was in like this little like village, you know how you pass like tiny little villages, and everyone was like looking at me. I think there's a few people laughing, and like as soon as they saw that I was okay, they just like did not give two shits. Like they just went back to doing their own thing.
Really? Hey?
Yeah. And then I got up, and all I had was this scar. I have a pretty gnarly like photo of like it being all like ripped off most of my forearm, but all I did was ripped off most of my forearm, just like the skin. I had a little nick on my hip, a little nick on my knee, and that was it. I was like, and my camera, fine.
Pretty good.
I was like, how the fuck?
You got so lucky.
Dude, I remember sitting
That's really lucky.
Camera died, so I had to make a little bit of an adjustment there. I think I bumped the camera, so it might be like off a little bit. That's okay. But yeah, basically, I was just like, after all that happened, I remember just like laying in my bed at the hostel.
It's fine.
That really hurt. And just being like, I could be dead. I was like, I just remember being so distraught by it, because like when it actually happened, I just was like, I literally just like got up and got back on my bike.
The adrenaline was just pumping.
The adrenaline was pumping, and then as soon as like the next day, I was so sore.
Really?
I was, oh man, my whole body. Because like,
that's crazy.
Because like I think the reason I didn't get that scratched up is because like I slid for like a couple seconds, but like all my weight was on my forearm. So that's why like my forearm got ripped off. I'll show you the photo. I have it.
Sure.
But then like otherwise I just kind of like rolled. So it was more like getting hit. Right. Like I kept on getting hit while I was rolling, but I never really like slid.
Man, I remember when people would come into hostels, and every once in a while you get like 2 people that come in all banged up and all bandaged up.
In Pai they call them hospitals.
Because
there's always like at least one person that had a scooter accident. Because there's so Pai is this town in northern Thailand. It's pretty much a tourist town, but it's weird because it's a tourist town that's not touristy.
It's like a village.
It's
like a tourist village.
It's like a tourist town for tourists who are willing to make the trek.
Yeah.
Because it's like a 3-hour drive either by moped or bus.
Far out.
The bus sucks because it's like twisty.
It's not
and windy.
a bus. It's a minivan.
It's a minivan that they pack like 20 people into, and everyone gets car sick because it's so windy, and it's up and down and blah blah blah. And then if you want to take a moped, it's like you're taking a moped on like a legitimate 3-hour mountain road.
Yeah.
So you
Ups,
like
downs,
so
the
there's
curves.
not that many, like the only people that are there, like everyone in Pai is cool.
Yeah.
Like everyone there is like they're interesting people and they're really travelers, because otherwise you can't really get there.
Yeah.
But the only transport there is mopeds.
Right.
There's no taxis, there's no tuk-tuks,
Right.
so anything. So everyone drives a moped.
Yeah.
Not everyone knows how to drive a moped, like me.
A lot of people, I didn't really know how to drive one either when we got there.
Now
I was like, I know how to ride a
now.
bicycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very confident now.
Yeah.
Like I don't have
That's
any
good.
issues. I remember after that trip, I was like, I want to get a bike. I was like, that was fun.
Yeah. I really
it was
debated
great.
buying a bike coming back to the island.
Oh man,
I missed that. Do you remember when we were in Canggu and in Bali, and there was that little Balinese party going on at the bottom of the hostel and like the next sort of property
like
over with the dancers and stuff
and
all the
music.
And
there was
then
the
we
guy
went
with
and
the hammer.
danced. Yeah,
The hammer.
There was one guy playing a hammer, but then we went and danced with them with like Janine and all those people.
That was great.
Dude, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
That was a good time. I love that because I feel like when you're backpacking, you don't always get to experience like the true culture of a place because you're staying in hostels, you're hanging out with other backpackers.
Do you remember why it was happening?
No,
It was because it was the hostel was new.
Yeah.
And every time they build something new, they
host,
do like a
party.
ceremony, like a blessing ceremony.
They just did the whole other like pool and building and stuff.
Yeah, because so they bless every building.
Yeah.
It was super cool.
Yeah.
And they were really nice. We like went on their dance floor was like a tarp.
Yeah.
It was like spread out, and then they
it was a big blue tarp on the ground.
and like all the Indonesian, like some of the Indonesian girls that were like, they were actually like dancers like a part of the ceremony, were like dancing with all the people that wanted to come out. But it wasn't a touristy thing because it was only our hostel.
Yeah.
So it was just like they literally were doing it to bless the hostel.
Yeah.
So the only people who came and like hung out and danced were people that were in the hostel, then like the occasional person who drove by.
Man.
But it was like our own private little Indonesian concert.
I miss that place, man. We should talk about Canggu and what we did in Canggu.
Road trips. We haven't talked about road trips at all. We kind of talked about road trips in the
we've been on a few bike road trips and like bigger road trips.
Yeah,
they're
Canggu,
fun. Everyone loves to do them. Yeah, that's it. But Canggu was awesome. Canggu is like this little village in Bali.
It's not even a village anymore.
Yeah, it's a big
built.
backpacking. It's a small sort of city, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it.
It's weird because it has this like.
It's a very unique vibe there.
Very touristy. So many white people, so many travels, so many backpackers. But the weird thing about it is culture there. There's a little bit of culture.
There's a lot of culture.
There's a little bit of. You gotta look.
There's like a very artistic, like creative
culture. Okay,
group
there's
there.
like culture. There's not really Indonesian culture.
Yeah, Canggu has its own culture. Yeah.
Canggu has its own culture for sure.
Yes.
But it's not based on how many people are there, how many foreigners are there, and expats and backpackers. It's not very well known. Mm-hmm. Like not many people know about it. People know about Bali.
Yeah.
But they don't know about Canggu.
Most people just go to like Kuta, maybe over to like
Kuta. Lots of people go to Kuta. You don't really hear about Canggu though until
Ubud's the big one.
Ubud's a big one because it has like like yoga and like the monkey forest and stuff, and that's kind of how you get to the volcano and everything.
Yeah.
But Canggu's weird because
little surf town.
It's a little surf town, but it's also not a little surf town because it's like, do you know what it is? It's like a digital nomad.
Oh, I hate that word. I know, but that's what it is.
I hate that word too, but it literally is. It's like
it's a digital nomad's paradise.
Breeding ground for Instagrammers.
Yeah,
the amount of and everyone is.
I agree.
Like, the population is unproportionately attractive.
Yeah,
because it's all these models and photographers and Instagrammers and YouTubers that just go and live in this super cheap place. And one of the reasons that my theory is that they live there is because it's super cheap.
Yeah.
And it looks really nice.
Right.
So you can fake your life.
You
can be pretty poor and look like you're living large.
Drink a pineapple or drink a coconut on the beach every single day for like $2.
The places that I lived there, definitely. So after you left and when I went back, so when I came back to Canada, then I went back, the two places I lived in, I barely paid any rent.
Right.
But like, I paid, what was it? It's like maybe $500 a month. But it was like a villa.
Yeah.
Like I had a 2-bedroom villa with a kitchen. Yeah. Like it was a house, but because it was like tropical, I remember when it wasn't closed in. It was like open walled and everything. My own pool, had my own driveway, had a maid come in and like it wasn't my place, it was Joe and Emily's place, so they let me stay there. But like just the comparison of like what you would get here
for $500
versus what you get there for $500, and then I pay the same ish amount to live in like their mansion. Yeah. The legitimate mansion that looks out over like all of Bali.
That's one of the nicest places I've ever been to.
The ratio of like amenities, like Western amenities, and the price is so like lopsided. Right. Because like everything there is Western. Mm-hmm. Most things. Yeah. Definitely if you're in Canggu. Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
I'm not trying to make it sound bad though. Mm-hmm. I fucking love it there.
I love it there.
It's great.
I want to go back really bad. I want to take Callie there. And I just want to go back and spend a month there.
You can get stuck there. We got stuck there.
Big time, yeah.
Well, because we were backpacking. Yeah. And we ended up staying there for like, what, like 2 months? Yeah. We like legitimately lived there.
That's crazy to think about. We spent most of our time there.
Just in Canggu.
Yet we, like to me, like half of the trip was Thailand. And then half of it, even though we spent most of our time in Bali, but I feel like most of that trip of like experiences and people we met and stuff like that, like that was like there was more of that because we kind of lived everyday life.
We were living in Canggu. We weren't traveling. Yeah. Right? Like when we were in
Thailand,
Thailand,
nestled in and just surfed and hung out.
We both bought boards. Yeah. And we just like, like when we were in Thailand, we were backpacking. Yeah. We were going from spot to spot to spot, and like I think the longest we got stuck somewhere was Pai, and that was like a week. Yeah. Like not that long. Like a pretty average time, like amount of time to stay in one place. Yeah. But then Canggu was just like literally like the schedule was like wake up, either go for a surf or go for a coffee. You can switch them around. Yeah. Go for breakfast, get an amazing breakfast for under $10 always. Sometimes as cheap as like $4 or $5. Yeah. With I remember the smoothies. Remember what was that place called? Oh. What was the place called? Badal Nut.
And Crate.
And Crate. Oh, Crate. Oh, no.
Yeah. Crate's probably the best restaurant in Canggu.
Crate. A lot of the restaurants there, especially Crate, the food that you get there, like the most I paid probably was like $10 Canadian.
And it's good.
Here, that would be like 30. Yeah. At least.
Yeah.
At least.
And it's good food.
And that's expensive there too. Oh. Like that's like expensive. Yeah. No, it was less than that because remember everything was 55,000.
55, everything.
Everything was 55,000, so it wasn't even 10. It was like it was like $6. Yeah. $6 for like a beautiful plate of food. Yeah.
Huge avocado toast with like real. Salmon and tuna.
It's not real. That place is literally like a fairy tale.
It's a strange paradise.
It's a weird. Yeah.
Don't go there.
Just don't get jumped. That happens.
Oh yeah. Mostly to girls.
Mostly to girls. Yeah. I wasn't too worried about it because
I never got worried about it. But thinking about it, there was times where I stopped at the ATM on like the busiest road ever. Yeah. And I would pull out like a shit ton of money and just keep it in my wallet and. I never locked anything up. Like I think the entire time we traveled, maybe I locked my stuff up maybe once or twice.
Yeah, there's kind of that backpacker like unwritten rule that you just don't fuck with other people's stuff. Yeah, and like there's assholes out there, obviously.
No one really fucks with anyone's shit.
Well, because like everyone's in the same. Everyone's in the same boat. Yeah, like nobody wants to have their shit stolen.
Everyone's there for the experience of traveling.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah. It's nobody, and most travelers are nice people. Yeah, it's pretty rare that you meet like a mean. Yeah. Like someone who's not.
You meet like person. Weirdos and douchebags.
Weirdos,
and stuff like
but not assholes. Like everyone's like.
There's
a few assholes, but there's
depends what city you're staying in. If you're in Kuta in Bali, you're probably gonna meet a few more assholes.
But those are like the party people. I feel like I don't know, but
there's always lots of party people. We were party people.
Kinda. We didn't party that much.
Not that much.
The only party I really remember going to is that one in Pai. It was like the first night. Oh, yeah. And then every other night after that was really quiet.
That's right.
And we kept on trying to go out and find like another event. Yeah. We're like, there's nothing else. That was the best time. Yeah. It started on a real high and then just dropped off.
Dude, in Canggu there was some big parties. Fun, though. Like when we would go to...
there was always big parties, man.
Pick Your Poison. Is that what it's called?
Pretty Poison.
Pretty Poison.
The skate spot.
Yeah. Going there on like, what was it, like a Thursday night or whatever?
I think it was Tuesdays and Thursdays was Pretty Poison.
Yeah. And it would just be packed sometimes.
Friday nights was the Lawn. I never went to the Lawn. I just knew Friday nights were the Lawn.
Yeah.
What was the other place? Old Man's.
And then the pizza spot next to what's the motorbike company?
Luigi's.
Yeah, Luigi's Pizza. That's right. Yeah.
Oh man,
Luigi's
Monday night pizza.
Yeah.
And you got like super cheap.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that place was so surreal.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it's one of those places that like, it's real.
Yeah.
You can live there. Like, you can legitimately live there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel right. It's almost like too good.
Yeah.
That you're like, this feels too free.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like at some point something's going to happen that this is going to have to change.
It's possible.
But like...
COVID-19, that's for sure.
Oh, I wonder what that's... Actually,
they just recently closed the beaches.
I just saw a thing on Facebook saying they weren't planning on making any like crazy social distance stuff.
I'm still in a few of the Bali and like Canggu like buy and
the
sell
Canggu
groups
chat thing.
Yeah, and I seen posts that they were like closing down
because a British dude died there.
Really?
From COVID.
Oh well, yeah, I think I heard about that.
It was a while ago. Yeah. It was like weeks ago.
So I mean that'll really change it.
I know some people who left.
Yeah.
Like who got out and went back. Joe and Emily went back to
that's
the
good
UK.
that they left.
Yeah, but they said it was really hard to get out.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
It'd be scary being there. Like, even though they have this, like, super beautiful house and stuff, like, you just never know, and I feel like it's better to be more comfortable at home with your family in... I wouldn't want to be there during this.
Not during this, no, because who knows? Because, like...
It'd be terrifying.
Thinking about, like, here... Like, think about here being worried about, like, supply chains, like, losing, like, not getting enough food, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
There would be, like, a real problem.
Yeah.
That would be...
Yeah.
There's a lot more people in a really small place.
Totally. And there's a lot more poverty too, which like I don't know, I feel like as a white tourist, you know, you'd be kind of looked at as like this guy has money or this guy has something. More of a target
than you already are.
Kind of, yeah. And like you just want to be comfortable at home with your family or like your loved ones and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. We were talking about that earlier today, like what's going to happen to all the places that don't have the option to isolate?
Who knows? I guess we'll see.
Like because
a lot of places
that's like
don't.
Most of the world.
Yeah, most of the world you can't really just sit at home for 2 weeks straight. And
I heard that they
have the government pay your way.
I heard that they had their first cases of COVID-19 in like remote tribal communities.
Right.
And I was like, how the fuck did it get there?
Yeah, it's crazy, hey.
Like how?
I don't know.
Like how? I mean, I guess someone had to go to test them.
It just takes like. You know, one person coughing in an airport onto another person, but that person gets sick.
But like remote, like tribal communities.
Yeah.
They ain't flying around anywhere.
Who knows? They're
like in the rain, they live in the rainforest.
Maybe they get like a delivery of food or something, or who knows.
Damn.
That is pretty crazy though. That like communities like that are
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that could be extremely detrimental. I feel like, especially just small like tribal communities.
Yeah.
Like if these diseases come in that. You know, they're so isolated in one spot, they don't come into the contact with like the normal world.
Yeah.
So their bodies are less, I feel, ready to kind of fight off different diseases and, you know, like flus and colds and stuff.
There's so many stories of that like all throughout history of like
for sure.
Like invaders or colonizers and stuff coming in and like there was like genocides and stuff, but one of the things that was really bad is them bringing these diseases.
Smallpox,
that the natives of whatever place you're going to aren't ready for.
Yeah.
Right? Like their bodies aren't immune to that, they just get absolutely fucked by this new virus. Yeah, just kind of scary.
Yeah, I watched this thing too that all viruses come from, or like all the big viruses throughout history have started in one form or another from animals.
Yeah, they have to make the jump.
Yeah, that's crazy. So basically, what the issue is with these epidemics and these pandemics and these viruses is like it's an overcrowding of livestock, and then you have all these like mixtures of just really dirty, unhygienic environments for these animals, and then that creates this breeding ground.
I heard that too, that it was livestock.
Yeah.
Like if we didn't depend so much on livestock agriculture, there would be way less risk.
Yeah.
Like way less risk.
Totally.
Yeah. And that apparently the people who are kind of like on the watch for these things, they're basically just always looking out for mutations in animals.
Right.
Like they're always watching like different diseases that are going through animal species.
Right.
And then they're just kind of like watching them being like, we hope this one doesn't mutate because this one's particularly deadly. Yeah. Or like just like looking at certain things. There was one, it was who was I listening to? A podcast, probably the Joe Rogan podcast. But I'm trying to think of who it was. It was Michael something.
Oh, Michael
something. Yeah, and he was talking about this one. It's called I forget what it's called. It's like CWD or something.
Okay.
And it's basically like I forget the actual term for it, but it's like deterioration. Like and deer have it.
Yeah. Is that the one you can't like kill or?
It's 100% death rate.
Yeah.
And basically they found it in deer that have been hunted.
Right.
So like people could potentially be eating the deer with this crazy disease that is 100% death rate in deer.
Yeah.
And it deteriorates your body.
Yeah.
Like if you look at pictures of it, it's like the deer is just like this shriveled up, like, and it's got like skin rashes and it's disgusting.
Like rots from the inside out.
And apparently they're just like waiting for it to jump to humans.
Wow.
They're like,
I remember that part because I listened to that one too. I remember they were talking about it. I think I was like, kind of zoned out or not paying attention.
Yeah, it's Michael. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah.
Because it was listening to it was legitimately scary.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, this is
I also found it very like educational and informative.
I love those kinds of podcasts.
Those are
the best ones.
It didn't freak me out as much as I thought it was going to because I was like, oh, I'm actually learning good stuff. And he was kind of just like, yeah, like don't really worry about this coronavirus thing. Like worry about it, but like wash your hands, keep your distance, and it'll be okay. That was kind of his like attitude, I feel like. But then he starts talking about other scary stuff, and you're like, oh,
well, I think one of the things he was kind of trying to get across is like there's not really much you can do other than that.
Right.
Like you can freak it all you want, but like freaking out and taking all these like crazy precautions that haven't really been proved to actually help you is just gonna make your life like harder. Michael Osterholm.
There you go.
Michael Osterholm is an internationally recognized expert in infectious disease.
That is a way better podcast than this one.
Probably, yeah.
I will
March
say that.
10th, Joe Rogan. If you haven't heard it yet, it was also like at the beginning of all this, so it was kind of interesting to hear it like from the start.
Yeah.
It was on March 10th, Joe Rogan number 1439.
There you go.
If you want to listen to it.
Merry Christmas. It's really educational.
I feel like
you learn a lot from it.
Yeah, because it wasn't all just about COVID too. No. It was about like just infectious disease. Yeah. It was also really interesting, just like the way they were talking about it is because I mean it's still unknown really about the virus and everything and how it's all going to work out, what's going on.
Yeah.
But it was very unknown then. Like that was the point where everyone was like, "Are cities legitimately going to close down? Like, is that actually a possibility?"
Right.
Yeah, and now it happened.
It's crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. I wonder.
Wild.
Yeah. I was going to start talking about the apocalypse again, but we talked about that yesterday.
We already talked about the apocalypse for half an hour.
Turn to zombies or not.
I don't think so, man. That's pretty like...
Oh, there was this thing that happened. It was either like yesterday or the day before. Something within the past few days. I don't know what it is. I have to do my research. I'm probably talking out of my ass. But apparently the U.S. passed some sort of law or rule or something because of COVID-19 where effectively they sort of have a little bit more control over just people in general because of obviously the situation we're in.
Yeah.
And I forget what it was, but there's a lot of people like really pissed off about it right now. They're like, this is not right. Like
people are scared
we're getting our rights restricted and it's not going to go away once the world normalizes again.
Yeah, it was like people are scared they're going to lose their liberties and they're going to lose their rights. And then like, when this all ends, they're going to be like, no, we need to have precautions all the time now. And like they're never going to get those rights back.
I think it was like some sort of intense screening process at airports for sick people or something. I could be totally wrong with this. Yeah. But I think that's what they were talking about.
I know they definitely like... they have definitely had talks about things that they need to put into place to either screen people or test people or like somehow figure out who's positive and who's negative and figure out a way to like actually tell in public who's, because one of the things I've heard is one of the things that I've heard talked about is China, because China does that all the time.
Yeah.
In specific places around China, they were kind of testing it, but now I think it's like pretty enforced that they have cameras everywhere and they watch everything.
Any sort of mass surveillance techniques that come from China kind of scares me.
That's Terrifying.
If we're getting our surveillance,
you get a rating.
Yeah.
So how it works is that you go out into public and the cameras recognize you.
Yeah.
And they see you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Like there's no hiding. And they recognize you, and based on what you do,
you get a social credit score.
You get like a social credit score. So it'd basically be like if social media became real life, and the Instagrammers who make money on Instagram are all the people that do good shit. Like you go out and like I know like I heard like if you buy diapers, you get like extra points, and like if you like buy from this place, you get extra points. But if you buy alcohol, you lose points. And basically, like based on your point system, determines what you can and can't do in the country.
Right.
So it's like basically they're just promoting like the perfect people.
Yeah.
And they're trying to like. That's fucking creepy.
Could you imagine living under that?
You couldn't. You wouldn't even.
Can't
really,
imagine.
You wouldn't. You'd be literally like. You'd be under so much stress to be like the best person you can be all the time. And like never do anything bad, and like there's never a way of not getting caught if you do something.
There's a really great Black Mirror episode
fucking
on that.
Scary, fuck Black Mirror. Black Mirror scares me because Black Mirror is one of those shows that's like
foreshadowing.
It's like obviously fake, but it's too close to being real.
Yeah,
that it's like because every episode is possible.
Yeah, it's a Black Mirror. It's a mirror that. Essentially, it's a television show that kind of reflects the future of society.
Do you see the dating one?
Where they only have X amount of time. Sometimes it could
be like a little
week.
They have like a thing,
yeah.
And it's like go meet this person now, and then like so it just tells you, and then you meet them, and then it gives you a time,
and it could be like 2 days, it could be like 3 years,
and you just have to be it for 2 days. Can you imagine 3 years? I would way rather get like a week.
3 years with someone that you really hate.
Yeah, like you have to stay with them, and then the whole
3 years with someone that you really like would be awesome.
And then the whole thing is about a couple. They like meet up and they do like the thing where they just like everyone goes on like a first date.
Yeah.
And then on the first date, you're supposed to check. How much time it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, don't check, and they just don't check it.
Yeah.
And then like eventually they check it, and it like throws everything off because they checked. Yeah.
That was a weird episode. I like that episode.
It was a very. Yeah, but I just remember you get a rating. Like, you're rated off of how you are as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Crazy.
We don't want to get that.
No.
China's low-key really scary.
If shit like that ever happened, I would probably go off the grid. As close to it as I possibly could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start growing some potatoes.
I'd find a lady.
Yeah.
To live my life with.
Find some hippie lady to
live off the grid and be like, I don't want to be under surveillance all the time. Fuck that.
Yeah, that would suck.
That's scary shit.
Well, mate, we should probably leave it there.
Yeah.
End it for the night. Road trips evolve into Bali, motorcycles, coronavirus, and China.
Freaking China.
That was fun. That was a lot. Road trips. I feel like I could talk about cliche things about road trips.
That's the thing is like,
I could be like, I went on this road trip, and which is kind of what we did, but
it's kind of what we did. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't really like talking about stuff like that.
Dude, if you wanna know our opinions about road trips, just go on to Pinterest, type road trip, and all the pictures you see, like that's how
road trips work.
That's usually how road trips.
They're just usually not that pretty.
Sometimes they are. If you set them up like that,
you set them up like that, and then then
you have to like get dirty, or you'll get dirty throughout the.
That's one of the things that I see on like van life on Instagram and shit.
Yeah.
And on Pinterest.
I think most people know now. I think there's so much awareness around it of like this is not what it actually
it's like
you
see all these like beautiful photos of like beautiful girls and guys like laying in the back with their surfboard, their ukuleles and their longboard, just like out by the ocean, and most of the time you're in like Walmart parking lots and like
talk about selling an emotion.
Oh man,
that's one reason that I hate Instagram and social media, is because all it is just like you're just selling people this idea of a picturesque emotion place. That's all it is, you know. It's not authentic anymore. No. I feel like that's like one big gripe that I have with like photography is like it's not photography anymore. It's not really an art. And I mean, it's still documented for a lot of... Like, there's a lot of good things that happen because of photography. Yeah. But I also feel like there's just so much phoniness and fakeness and...
Now there is.
Marketing
there's
BS
still
that
that
comes
legitimate
out of it.
Stuff, but...
There definitely is.
There's still the real documented
But that's the way life is, you know? And I just do what I like to do, and that's all that matters.
You just do you, man.
Yeah. I like Instagram though. So follow me on Instagram at Dion_Toll.
I just remade my Instagram.
Oh, what's your Instagram?
Eddie McDonald _
Perfect.
There you go.
Follow us.
I think I have 30 followers. Man, I didn't have Instagram for like a couple months. I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Why'd you get it back? Because
delete it again.
I don't. But now, miserable. Because I deleted it and I got so used to not using it, I have it now, but I don't really use it.
I see you on it quite a bit.
Like, I don't use it though. No, because I have to.
You like scroll.
I scroll a little bit when I'm bored, but like that's the reason I got it, because I was like, damn, I'm gonna be in isolate, because I was in Edmonton when all this started,
right? And
it's not as entertaining as here, so I'm like,
why'd you delete it in the first place?
What's that?
Why'd you delete it in the first place?
Because I was using it too much, and I was just like, fuck it, because it was just a habit.
Like, do you find it was like affecting you negatively?
Yeah, that definitely was affecting me negatively. I was just like,
what was it that was affecting you negatively?
Well, I mean, it was
like, for you, what was? I'm curious.
For me, it's always been like, because I remember like when I first started photography, I was hanging out with you guys.
Right.
I was hanging out with like you and Richard and whoever else, and like at that point, everyone in that group was really into Instagram.
Totally.
Right. So like that was just like why I was. That's why I got into. Fuck, I keep stuttering over my words. That's why I got into Instagram in the first place, is just because like you guys were the first photographers I knew.
Right.
And so I was just like, I'm just going to do what they do.
That was the first like representation of what it was to be like a photographer.
Yeah. And then like that's how I found like all my inspirations of photography. That's how I found like Chris Burkhardt and Paul Nicklin and like all these crazy people using their Instagrams to promote themselves. And I was like, all right, I guess Instagram is the name of the game in photography. So I just got so into it, and I got like really on that train of like having to post and like be engaging and blah blah blah. And then like after a while, like even when I didn't care about posting and I didn't really want to do all that shit, I still just felt like this nagging at me that like if I want to be a photographer, I have to post, I have to be on Instagram, I have to do all this shit. And in a sense, you kind of do. That's kind of how it works now.
Sure.
But I just like didn't want to do that, and I just found that like the pressure.
Like you didn't like it.
It's weird because like
it must have been like a negative thing.
It was a negative thing, and just because the amount of time I was wasting for like scrolling on Instagram.
Yeah. Because I find the thing for me that's like really negative about it is it's just a comparison to other people's life. So if I'm at home and I haven't done much in the past month, or I haven't gone on any big adventures, but then I go and see all my friends or all these people that I know on these big adventures doing cool, crazy stuff.
Exactly.
It's that fear of missing out, and then you kind of have that like. You feel like you're not doing enough, or you feel like you should always be out there. You should always be like doing photography stuff because you're always seeing it.
And I feel like that's taken to another level for creative people.
Yeah.
Because when you're in an industry, or you're trying to get into an industry where you become like a professional artist or professional creative,
right?
When you see all these other people being creative, making art, coming up with new things, putting new things out, it's hard to remember that that's thousands, if not millions of people all clumped into one space, and not thinking of it as like almost a single entity. That's kind of how I make sense of it, and how I kind of understand how people see it and how it can be negative to people. Because like as a photographer, you go on Instagram and you just see like all these insane photos. Yeah. Like nice photos are a drop in the ocean now. Like no one gives a shit about nice photos anymore.
Right. Well, nice is just different.
Just like beautiful photos.
Like how do you define nice? Because I feel like nice is like subjective.
Like beautiful photos of a mountain, or beautiful photos of people adventuring, or portraits, or blah blah. Literally, not even, let's say paintings. Same thing. See people doing like time lapses of paintings. Yeah. And you just see like all this crazy new work going out that you feel like you need to be putting out as that much work too.
Yeah.
But it's impossible. You can't put that out because you're comparing yourself to hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of people.
Yeah.
Right? Always just be blasting, and you're like just blasting content into your face like one after the other. And one of the best kind of descriptions that I've heard is, you got to think of yourself as like a cup, as like a creative person. You have a cup, and you have your ideas, and you have other people's ideas. And if you just keep filling your cup with other people's ideas, you're never going to be able to put your ideas into it. Because you're always just going to be influenced by something else, by something else, by something else. Yeah. So there was so many reasons that I thought it was negative. One was waste of time. Yeah. I just didn't need to be looking at surf videos and now fucking TikToks. Jesus, I looked at like 2 TikTok videos when it all started, and now it's all I see. Oh. And then I was just scrolling through it, and I was like, well, because we're in quarantine, so I get bored and scroll.
It's funny that Instagram's kind of been taken over with TikTok.
Yeah.
Everyone's on TikTok now.
I feel like TikTok might die out.
Why?
Because it grew too fast.
It's too fun.
But it got big so fast.
But I think it's a very original platform because it's all video based.
Yeah, it's
There's
definitely
not toxic different. Social media aspects to it. Yeah. There's like a comment section, but you can't like leave messages. You can't start like chats. It's purely just videos, like fun videos.
See, but there's still that like constant content pressure. Yeah. I feel like even more in that one because it's easy to make. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's so easy to make content that like, why can't you put out 20 pieces of content a day?
Totally.
Right? Yeah. I think that's like one of the things that bugged me a lot about social media, and one of the reasons I deleted it is because like when I started being a photographer, like I wanted to be a photographer. I didn't want to be a content creator. I didn't want to be an Instagrammer. It's like I adored like Nat Geo and like Sea Legacy,
like the actual
and like
art
documentary and like these people who are, and like Planet Earth. Like Planet Earth was my first inspiration. It was like people who are going out and like legitimately making their life into like capturing a story of a photo or a video or whatever, and then it just got like turned into views. Right. It's like it doesn't need a story. It doesn't need to be a documentation. It just needs to be like pretty and engaging. Yeah. Or have a hot chick. Yeah. And then you're a photographer. Yeah. And I think because of that, and I'm sounding super negative about it. I mean, like you can still be a documentary photographer, but like I think because of that, it kind of like killed my vibe a little bit of like of wanting to be that. Yeah. But I definitely go back and forth a ton. Right. But like I also love it. Like, I love being able to look at all this crazy shit from all around the world. Yeah. And it exposed me to so much stuff around the world. And, like, I love YouTube because you can put out your own content. And you can make money if you're good at it and, like, all this shit. So there's so many pros and cons. Yeah. But I think just, like, at the point where I was at in my life, because it was actually when I was on Sea Shepherd, when I was on the boat. Yeah. And it's, like, I couldn't even share content while I was on it anyway. So I was like, why don't I just, like, completely fuck off from Instagram and from social media? And it was so great. Right. It was so nice. And like now that I got it back, I don't feel that pressure anymore. Yeah. Because I feel like
you started new. Like there's no expectation.
There's no expectations. And like
you don't have to like compete with your previous photos or anything like that.
And it's just one of the biggest things that I felt stupid about is that I knew I didn't want to be like an Instagrammer. Right. But I still felt that pressure to be an Instagrammer because I wanted to be a photographer. Yeah. Right, so it was kind of like it felt like you needed one to be the other. Totally. And I just didn't want that feeling anymore, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get off of it. Yeah. Yeah. But then I just started posting, like I have my like photo page that I just like post photos. Yeah. And I don't worry about like it's for me now, it's more like if I have something that I genuinely want to share, because I do genuinely love sharing things. If I have something I'll genuinely want to share that is a consistent thing I want to share, then like I'll start doing it again and I'll start sharing whatever I want. But for now, my photo page is literally just like a portfolio that like if I do meet a client or something and they want to like easily see, I'll just be like, yeah, just go look at this page. It has like all my photo stuff. Yeah. And that's kind of how I see it now, instead of like a place to like create content to get views and all that. Yeah. But that was a long response. Yeah. But that was my answer. Yeah. But I also love it. I also love like making this shit.
Yeah, it's like a weird.
I love producing content every single day. That's my weird. That's the weird like contrast of it is like, I love the concept of producing something new every single day to put out to the world. Yeah. But I also don't want to make bullshit content. Right. Because there's so much out there. I'm like I don't want to just put out like anything just to put shit out. Right. Right. Yeah. So but.
That's how I am too. I'm just like, whatever. I still upload a lot of photos that I really like. Yeah. But I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna put out when I want, what I want. You know. Yeah. Just my photos. I'm not gonna have, because before I was trying to upload like every day. I was going on trips just to take photos. That was a big
that's
one.
What we did, but when we were starting, that's what I mean. Yeah. It's like I got when we were going out. In that first summer that we were here,
it was all to shoot.
It was like we went out to take photos for Instagram. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Which is like,
I wouldn't even say necessarily for Instagram was like what we were uploading them to and excited to share them on. But like for me, it was still fun just to go out and shoot photography. Yeah. Because like I have all these images now for the rest of my life that I can look back on, and they're like great photos.
That's the thing too, is like that. I made that sound really negative, but it's also great.
Yeah.
Like that want to take photos and then share it.
Yeah.
Probably pushed us to go on so many more adventures and places and hikes than we would have done otherwise.
To like make my photography better too, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because like it's almost it
you want to take a good ass photo. You're like, come on, I want to get some good photos to upload.
I definitely like have a love-hate relationship for it, because I do love it. And like I legitimately love doing stuff like this. Like it's fun to like create stuff and to make videos. And that's one of the things I was actually thinking about over the past couple of days. Like I want to make more videos and just like put videos out, but not videos that are like any specific thing. It's just like what I want to create. Yeah, it's right. It's just like getting into that creative mood. Yeah. So many options.
Well, this is even more drawn out now. We have a huge audio section. The video cut out. There's going to be no video for this. No, we're 37 minutes.
Oh, shit.
We're 8 minutes over without video. That's okay. We'll just upload a black section at the end.
It's a podcast.
If people have watched this far, they'll probably keep listening this far. Yeah. Anyways, I guess that's today's episode, and we'll see you guys on the new one, probably with some more updates and, I don't know, better work tomorrow. Every day we're upgrading, you know, like every day something like changes with our set, our lighting, our sound.
We don't have video right now, but we got this. Yeah, well, how are we gonna do that? We'll have to put like we'll have to just like get a screenshot.
We just let it go black too. People will just listen.
Yeah.
Start getting on with their day.
Just be like, our video cut out.
Yeah. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your isolation if that's what you're doing, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Peace.